Thank you to MPB for sponsoring this video. Back in December, I shared the art of rest with you, talking about how we can tune into the energy of winter by allowing ourselves time to rest and recuperate, and how this can not only be beneficial for our health and well-being, but also offer us much growth and prosperity in our photography too. I very much stuck to my words and have spent much time resting in recent months. Despite this, I feel I've learnt more about photography in recent months than I ever have before, because what I have learnt on a much deeper level is the art of observation. Before we say goodbye to the winter completely and move into the abundance of spring, which, by the way, I have some very exciting images to share with you on this topic in the next video, I thought it may be beneficial to share what I have learnt this season with you, as I feel it may offer some food for thought as we begin to welcome in the abundance of opportunities that spring brings. Isn't nature wonderful? I've come out for a couple of hours just to sit by my local lake, and I felt like this afternoon I just needed some time in nature, just listening to the sounds, the birds, the water, the rustling of the trees with the wind. So I've come to my favourite spot in this hide, and my friend the robin has just been with me, so close by, so beautiful, like literally touching distance. The closest I've been to him so far. It just reminds me of the sheer beauty of nature, of these, oh my god, he's here, look, he's literally right beside me. Let's see if I can flip the camera around. Like, shh, hello, hey, this is amazing. How are you? Oh, wow, he just flew right past my ear. I don't think I've ever had a bird fly past me so close. That was the noise of the wings fluttering right in my ear. Wow. So the wind's just got up as well. The wind's just got up. I'm just watching the water with the wind on it. Look at that. Let's see if I can zoom into it. Whoosh. It's moments like this that I just find so much beauty in. I just find it's so lovely, to be able to come out and to make time for moments like this. Anyway, I'm going to take some time now just to enjoy this beautiful scene. Listen to the sounds and the sights. Take some deep breaths. Allow myself to get out of my head and into my body, and just enjoy the beautiful scene in front of me right now. Just so peaceful, so tranquil, so lovely. This sitting and observing the world is something I'd practiced a lot over the winter. One thing I've enjoyed the most is watching the snowfall and observing how nature responds to the weather changes. This has really opened me up to a whole new world of understanding. I've begun to see more, to feel more, and to imagine more. You will see as this video progresses that my images get more and more emotive. These ones started the journey of observation off for me, as I found great pleasure in imagining how the birds felt in the snow, going from isolation and loneliness to connection and a sense of community with each other. I began to imagine them talking amongst themselves and engaging in their own little world within their home environment, creating all sorts of fun and imaginative stories in my mind that I could tell through these images. It wasn't until I returned to the pond on a sunnier day, however, that the observational skills I had been practicing really began to take form. Well, after the snow last week, it certainly feels like spring has arrived. The birds are singing, the sun is out, and I've just seen the first buds of spring growing on the trees. We're still in January. Today is the 26th, 27th of January. But it feels, there's warmth in the air. It feels really, really beautiful. Of course, it could all change any moment, any day, going back to winter. But right now, this moment of beauty, of being out here and really observing, spending the time to observe is so beautiful. And right now I'm watching this lovely line of leaves just coming down this pond here. And I'm just connecting with each one of them, looking at the light and making some really interesting images. So beautiful. The simplest things make me happy at the moment. Being out in nature, feeling the sun on my skin, observing things. There's so much beauty around us, all the time. And especially when the sun comes out, it just makes everything so much more special. I would like to think as you look at these images that you begin to feel something, because I certainly felt something in this moment. I often get asked what's the best advice I'd give those beginning their photography journey. My suggestion is to take the time to see the world around you, to truly observe it and start to understand the relationship between everything you come across, but also your relationship to the subjects you photograph. These photos were all made in 10 minutes with very little thought or effort. They came from feeling. I love them. In fact, I'm proud of them. They fill me with joy, and their creation came so easily to me, but only because I'd spent so much time over the winter practicing my observation skills, and by doing so, was able to see and connect deeply with these leaves, something that most people would easily walk by. And it wasn't just the leaves that I photographed, but also this tree branch that was poking out of the water, surrounded by the most incredible colour and light. And my duck friends also returned, this time surrounded by the most beautiful shimmering water that brings a sense of almost transcendence as I look at these images. Now, as you've been watching this video, you may be beginning to feel inspired to head out there and do some photography for yourself, but maybe the camera gear you currently own isn't inspiring you in the same way. That's where the sponsor of today's video may be of interest to you. MPB is an online platform where you can buy, sell and trade in used camera gear. With the spring now well and truly around the corner, you may be considering upgrading your camera gear. Maybe getting yourself a new lens, or maybe doing some spring cleaning and getting rid of some of the equipment that you no longer use. If any of this applies to you, why not check out MPB and see what photography gear they have on offer, or get yourself a free quote for any gear that you wish to sell. It's simple and easy to use, and you can find all the details in the video description box below. Now, before we end this video, I wanted to share some of the ways I've been practicing the art of observation in the lead up to the leaf images that you've just seen. One thing that's really helped me to do this in recent months has been watching the snowfall. Every time a shower has moved through, I've taken time to both observe it out my living room window, as well as physically immerse myself in it too. This has offered me the chance to see what lines and shapes stand out around me, both during and directly after the snow showers have passed. I found this such a worthwhile exercise because it really enabled me to see what the most prominent features are in the landscape, but also to train my eye into seeing beyond the haze, picking out small features that weren't always easily visible. As well as this, I also spent one day focusing on shape, form and texture in my garden, right after a snow shower had passed and the sun broke through the clouds. Through this, I could easily see and understand more clearly the relationship between light and shadows. And finally, on one occasion, I tried some macro photography. This is always a great method to try when you're wanting to learn more about observation, offering you the chance to look much more closely at the small elements that make up the world around you. This image here is of some snowflakes on top of a metal fence post. But of course, it's not all about using our eyes. The art of observation comes from bringing all of our senses together. And with this in mind, let's end with some thought-provoking words from my favourite Robin Hyde, By the Lake. We all need moments like this, moments of peace, of calm, of tranquility, where we can just listen to the sights and sounds of nature. Get away from the desk, get away from the computer, and be at one with nature. It's so beautiful. If you would like to learn more about the art of observation, I'm running an online course entitled Learning to See during the first week of April. It's a great opportunity to get together with a small group of people while exploring ways that you can develop this skill for yourself. We will look at topics such as observing the light, looking at details, relationships and connections, movement, and feeling. The beauty of the internet means that you can join us no matter where you live in the world. If you feel this may be of interest to you, you can find full details at photographicconnections.com/learning to see course.